All right, so here we have the end of module project 2. And I am now bringing up my instructions so that I can see them. All right, so these are the instructions, and open up 4-2, which hopefully I have the right one, which I do, 4-2, and save it in here. And let's see, save as the file with the file in here still open. Ensure last name displayed. All right, so we know that we have to look in B6 before we do anything else in here and save it. I always recommend that you save it first. My name is here in B6. So again, the easiest way to save a file with a different name is just hit the F12 key, and I'm changing this 1 to a 2. Okay, so the information is, as a consultant for Lawson Financials in Georgia, Keisha is evaluating the sales and expense for local financial planning. She's created an Excel workbook to maintain the sales and expense data and ask for help in formatting the charts, so on and so forth. So we're going to go to the sales and expense worksheet, and it says that we need to show the trend of each expense type for the 4 quarters in 2021. So the very first thing is we need to insert a line spark line in the range B5 to E5. So here is B5 to E5, and this looks like something I've already done. So let me go back to this expenses, because I have it, B5, so apparently maybe not. Okay, I have not. I have done so many of these things, I'm having trouble keeping track of what I've done. So let's go to B5 to okay, we want B5 to E5. So here's B5 to E5 in here. And so we're going to put it in the range over here. So let's go down here. And I'm trying to read the instructions while I'm talking. I probably should just read the instructions in here. So, okay, so in cell F5, which we're in, we want to insert a line spark line for the range B5 to E5. Okay, so we go to insert. It takes me a bit of time to get my eyes open. And we have line, spark line. So where's the data range? We just look at the data range, which is B5 to E5. And of course, the location range is in F5. Click on OK, and we have that. Then we're going to copy it down all the way. Use your favorite method to copy it. That takes care of number 2. Format the spark lines, F10, by showing their high and low points. Change the spark lines to style rows in here. So to do that, you know, again, I did say right click, but we don't really have to because we have high point and low point. So that shows the high point and the low point. Change the spark line style to rows. So here is the style, and it may be a little bit challenging to find. So let's see, we want to change it to rows sparkline style colorful 1. So let's go through these things and see if we can find that. That's green, 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 green. Rows sparkline 3, we're getting closer. Usually they tell you where it is, but they're not here. Green sparkline rows here. Sparkline colorful, we're finding it, so eventually I will. So where is it? All right, there we go. Finally, Rose Sparkline Styleful Colorful 1. And change the color of the high point marker to dark green text. So that's fourth thing in here. So you can try to figure out how to do it, but we have sparkline colors and we have marker colors. So let's just take a look at these two. One is just the sparkline, one is the marker. So here is it. Again, the first thing you should always do is look up top to see if what you're looking for is already there. If not, then you're going to right click. So we're going to change the color of the high point to dark green. Here's our high point, and it tells us that it's the fourth column, first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and dark green text 2. Perfect. So that is number 2. Number 3, the expenses 2021 cluster shows 5 categories of expenses in each. Move the chart to a new sheet of the expense. So I'm going to click on the expenses 21. Now, if you have a Mac, there is up top a move chart. So you can do it as well. Here's a move chart for here. For you with Windows, you can simply right click on it and choose move chart. Either way is going to give you the same results. So we want to put it to a new sheet. And we want to call it expense sheet. All right, so that looks exciting. Change the chart type to a stack column. These are all together. If in a stack one, they're going to be up and down. So we want to change the chart type. And this is our stack column here. So that looks pretty neat. That was number 4. Then we want to switch the row and the column so that the chart shows quarter 1 through 4 instead of expenses. So we just simply click on switch row and column. And that was part of number 5 in here. So change the format of the numbers on the vertical axis so they use accounting. Well, this is the vertical axis. So how do we do this? Don't know. Don't see anything up there. So why don't we right click and choose format axis and see what happens? Okay. Well, so far that's not really helping us anything in here. So we have this here, we have this here. None of that is really helping us whatsoever. So we want to look for where is the format. Select data. Again, let's look and right check and see if there's anything. Oh, format chart area. So let's see what this does. Okay, absolutely nothing. So we're struggling with that. So eventually we're going to be able to adjust it. Now, we can't do it from here. And let's see what this format does. So this is not helping us at all in here. So we're going to come back to that. So I'll give you a hint. You're going to use the format access task pane. So let's try this again and go to the format access. So remember, I'm trying to show you the different ways of finding out how to do something in here. So let me get this out of the way. And I kind of hid this from you just to be sneaky. So here we have all kinds of different things that we can do. So we want to use the number sign, 0 decimal points. And so let's take a look at what number does in here. Look at this. Number sign symbol is none. So let's find a decimal point, or rather a $sign, and that should take care of that. So again, always look to your right when you don't find something up top. Right click. So I'm trying to show you different ways to figure things out when they're not readily available. And it does give you a hint. So we want to add a primary vertical axis title. Well, how the heck do we do that? So why don't we right click here and see what we have in here? Format major grid line, format that in here, change chart, access options in here, horizontal access, display unit, tick marks, labels, label positions in here. So we have all kinds of things, but let's go into our text options here and go in here. So again, I'm trying to help you figure out things that will help you when you don't know where to go to find and figure out how you do that. So again, we want to add a primary access title. So the first thing you're going to want to do is right click and see if we have add major minor grid lines, format, select data, format major grid lines. So right now we're not seeing anything in there. Why don't we go to here? And oh, look at this, access title. So you have several things. So again, you have up top here to look at. You have right click to look at. And you have this. Now for you with Macs, you're going to find this up in the upper left-hand corner. When you click on chart design, you're going to see this. So that's the add chart element, and then you can do it. So here's our access titles. And we want to do a primary vertical. And let's see what they want it to be called. They want it to be called expense amount. Okay, that takes care of expense. Add a data label with the legend keys again to the chart. Okay, so again, we have things add chart element. We have right click. I don't see any of that. So here's add chart element. Let's see what we can have. Data labels. And let's see what it wants us to add. Add a data label with legend keys in here. Then remove the legend. Okay, that kind of makes data with legend keys to the chart, then remove the legend in here. So let's go look and see what more label options give us. Pretty much nothing. So let's go into here. So if you right click on it, that's where you get the format data labels that allows you to put things in here. So we want to add the legend keys, which is right here. So add a table with legend keys, then remove the legend. So we're going to leave that for right now. Here's where your legend keys are. And boom. So we're going to be moving on to the next point. Change the font size of the chart text to 12 point. So again, to the chart text, change all of the font text to 12 point. That's everything but the table. So we click in here, and let's look and see if we have anything that says font. So we do. Now when you change one, it's going to change them all. That takes care of this. Let's do this. Okay, and we'll take care of the legend at the end. Change the font size of that, then change the font size of the chart title to 20. So again, right click and font, and we'll change this to 20. Go to the sales and expense worksheet. And the line markers, let's see. This is number 8. The line markers in the chart range A show the trend of the thing. Over time, add a title above the chart. Well, how do we add a title above the chart? You know, again, I would, let's see, A19. So let's see what we can do here. Again, we can right click, but I'm not really seeing anything. So why don't we go over here and see what we have? Oh, chart title. So that adds the chart title, and we want it to be net profit and loss 2021. That's number 8. Change the minimum bounds on the vertical. Now, if you change the wrong one, your line will disappear. So again, how do we change the minimum bounds? Again, the smartest thing in here is to right click and choose format. Let's see what we have, format plot area, and see if we have anything that helps us, which is obviously none. So how do we do this? Again, we have this option over here. So this is really not helping us. So we have format. We have all these different things that we need to do in here. So we have to open up and find the chart. So we're going to go in here. Let's click on this and see what we have in here. Okay, this is of no help. So we're missing a lot of things in here. So we want to change the vertical axis. Oh, maybe I need to click on the vertical axis to do it. So again, if you don't read the instruction and you're just like me and you look at like the first 3 words, it's going to be a little bit challenging for you to do it. So notice we have the format axis over there. So what we do now is make sure that you change the right one. Don't change the minimum, change the maximum. And we want it to be 5,000. Notice that it does change it in here. So now we want to change the shape outline to dark teal. Well, how do we do that? Where do we find that? So we have shape design. Do we have anything that says chart outline? Chart outline. So let's click and see what we have anywhere. Chart design, switch rows, select edit, sort chart. Oh, let's try format. Oh, look at this. Shape outline. And so now we need to format it to dark teal. It's accent 4, 6 column, first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, I believe it's 8. I remember that from the last time he did it. That must be a typo. And see if we have the whole thing. That does take care of that. Change the shape outlines in here, and the theme colors. Add a linear tread line to in here. So how do we add a linear tread line? Good question. So do you see anything here? No. So we're going to right click, format pilot area. Okay, how do we do that? So let's see what it says. Let's go back to the instructions. And let's click on the chart here. And format in here. So we have some, right click is not working. So do we see, oh, look at this, tread line. So again, you have to look and find it. So now we want to add a linear. Again, I'm trying to show you what to do so that you don't get frustrated when you can't figure it out right away in there. So we're going to, in here, the 2D pie chart in here compares totals, and we want to display the percentages on the wedges, and so we want to add data labels. So again, we have the data labels here. And I think I'm in the wrong one. Data labels. And we're going to add the data labels. Let's see. From 3 sources, display the label on the wedges, add the data labels to the chart using the best fit option. So here we have best fit in there. So that kind of looks really ugly. So change, I'm reading it in here. So change the range into compares 3 sources. Play the percentages. So we want to add data labels to the chart using and change the values to display only percentages. So then we just right click on it and choose format data labels. And now we want to do just percentages. Change the font color of the largest percentage to white background 1. Okay, well this is the largest percentage. And I'm going to go to font and change that to white background 1. Improve the appearance by changing the shape style of the legend colored art outline in here to, okay, let's see, color, let's change the shape style, changes. All right, so we're going to go to Format, Outline, and we want to change it to first column, 6th row. 3, 4, 5, 6. That is this one here. All right, that takes care of that. Okay, then she noticed an error, and she needs to make a change the value of cell E14 to $2,000. And that should be everything. So we're going to, going to save this. Going to compare it. And so this is what it should look like. And let's see if our bars look right. They do, and we need to get rid of these as well in here. So we're going to go to Format Data Labels and get rid of the legend. And get rid of the value. And we're good in there, and we get rid of everything else. So that's how it works in here. Hopefully this has helped you, and let me know if you have any questions.